Hello everybody. Welcome to pronunciation of vowels. And in today's lesson, we're going to be talking a little bit about the English wedge vowel sound, which is a central vowel, and it receives other names. Some people call it a turned V because if you look at it, it's like a V, which looks like this, but you turn it and then you have a turned V. And it's a very neutral sound, which you can find in words such as up, but, come. And in order for you to pronounce this sound, your lips need to be relaxed and slightly parted, as in when you say butter, you don't say butter, but butter, the relaxed. Your jaw is also relaxed and slightly lowered. Not as in bad, but butter. And your tongue is also relaxed and mid-level in the mouth. Now, we're going to look at some exercises, and I'm going to actually show you what I have in mind for the video. We will talk about pronunciation problems, and then we will do some exercises from your anthology, which, as you know, comes from the English Pronunciation Made Simple book. Now, some pronunciation problems you may encounter when you pronounce this sound include the fact that a lot of students make too much of an effort to pronounce it, and they end up saying, instead of collar, which is the green collar, they may say things like collar, and the collar with an a, with a back a, is actually a different word. If you say, for example, dawn instead of dawn, then you might be talking about a time of the day when it's very early, like right before the sun rises. And so just go ahead and relax your mouth, relax your lips a little bit, and relax your jaw and say butter, cup. Now I want you to go to exercise A on your anthologies. That's on page 44. And we will see, and I want you to repeat after me. So we have the English wedge at the beginning, in the middle, and in the middle of words. It doesn't happen at the end of words, ever. It never happens at the end of words. So, at the beginning of words. Repeat after me. Us, up, of, oven, ugly, other, uncle, onion, under, upper, hug. This is in the middle of words. Hug, one, nut, does, much, must, come, rough, month, and trouble. Of course, as we have said, there might be small variations from region to region, but if you pronounce it like this, you will never be in trouble, probably. Except, if you're in a community where the pronunciation is totally different, then the advice is for you to keep an eye open for differences. Here are some common spellings. It's commonly spelled U as in bud and cut and sun and lucky. It is not so often spelled OO or OE, but there are some words such as flawed, which is spelled OO, or OU as in trouble, or cousin, and so on and so forth. Okay? Now, with that said, let's go to exercise B on page 45, which is this one over here. And what you need to do is simply repeat after me. So here I go. Come in. What does it mean? Bubblegum. Once a month. Once is enough. Cover up. My uncle is my mother's brother. So notice how mother and brother contain the target sound we're studying. The next one says, my cousin is my uncle's son. So notice how son, S-O-N, is a homophone with S-U-N, sun. The sun you see rise in the morning is pronounced exactly the same as son, son and daughter. The gloves are such an ugly color. And then come and have some fun in the sun. Notice sun, homophones, words that are spelled differently but which have the same pronunciation. And then I want for you to go to pages 46 and 47, and we're going to do the check yourself 2 exercise. 47, it's this one here, and for this exercise you have the audio on the Teams folder, and all you need to do is go to week 8, and then open session 2 or day 2, and you will see the audio you will need for check yourself 2. What you need to do here is very simple. You circle the one word in each group of words that is not pronounced with the So for example, you have once, this is pronounced lovely, and then you have alone with a diphthong, so you circle this one. And then you have funny, which of course is pronounced with the English wedge. Remember that that's the name. English wedge or turn V. I like wedge sometimes. Sometimes I like turn V, but no stress. So go ahead and do that exercise. Pause the video, complete the exercise, and once you're done, I want you to go to the next page, exercise 40. Exercise A on 47, which is this one. And here, what you need to do is simply read the recipe aloud, and you must keep in mind that all the boldface words should be pronounced with the sound. So for example, recipe for fudge brownies. And then I'm going to read the first sentence for you. Everyone loves mother's fudge brownies. Just follow these easy to understand instructions and the brownies will come out wonderfully. The rest is up to you. Practice, practice, practice. Remember one cup, country, and so on and so forth. Once you're done with that video, I want you to also, oh, that's the end of the lesson. How marvelous. If there is time, you could also feel free to do exercise B, which is a limerick. And I spoke about limericks in the previous lesson. Go ahead and read it with rhythm. And this is the end of lesson 9, as in but, which is, like I said, a central vowel sound, and it's also a very relaxed sound, which you should practice over and over again until you get it right. Here is also a reminder, not really a reminder, this is the first time I'm saying it. The sound is always stressed. There is a similar sound which is called schwa, which we're going to study later on in the semester, but it is a different sound because it's unstressed. So the English wedge is always stressed, even if it's in a monosyllabic word, such as in but and cup and so on and so forth, it's always going to be stressed, never unstressed. Now let's go to page 57 to do lesson 12. Now lesson 12 is, it sounds like it's a different lesson, but it's not. What lesson 12 is about is simply a review of everything we have been covering over the past 2 weeks. So I want you to go to lesson 12, which includes a contrast and review of o as in dog, and as in car and father and so on. And like I said, this lesson review is on page 56 of your anthologies. Let's begin again with the sound we just reviewed. The English wedge, it's a short, quick sound. Your lips are just slightly parted, your mouth is relaxed. Then you have the O diphthong, which is a combination between a Spanish O, as when you say operar, and a very weak U, the upsilon, and when you put it together, then you end up with a diphthong, and it's a very long sound. You should prolong it because it's a diphthong. And this is the sound that you use when you say words such as go and nope. So you should be careful to always say let's go and not let's go. You should say nope instead of no, because no sounds more like the Spanish o, as in operar or olote and so on and so forth. Then we have the o sound, which is a back vowel. It's rounded. Your lips are in a protruded oval shape. For this sound, protruded means that your lips come out. As when you say ooh, you can see how there's rounding of the lips and your lips come out. And so the same happens when you say dog, and the same happens when you say caught, and so on. Of course, you need not exaggerate these sounds, but I think it's a good idea to exaggerate them at the beginning in the privacy of your own homes, so that when you speak in context, you sound more natural. And the other sound we're going to review is the sound, as in father, as in law. And it's a back vowel, it's an open back vowel sound. And in order to produce this sound, your jaw needs to be completely dropped and the mouth is open wider than for any other sound. So you say father, arm, and you say star, and you say hot. Although hot So in some varieties of US American English is pronounced with a different vowel sound. Some people say more like hot, more relaxed, but that's a sound that we're not going to study in the course. But you can always talk to me about it. It's called the open back transcript ah sound, as in approximate, as in hot. I'll be very happy to share a couple of perspectives on that sound with you. For now, I want you to go to exercise A on page 57. And it's a simple exercise, but notice how it's going to be interesting because you're going to go through all the 4 vowel sounds that we're reviewing here. And the goal here is for you to repeat these words and feel how your mouth opens wider as you progress through the pronunciation of o, and ah. So here I go. I'm going to give you probably the first 2 so that you can do the rest. Oh, why don't I give you at least, I'll try and give you the 10 sentences if I don't run out of time. So the first one goes cut, see my mouth, cut, coat, caught, and caught. Notice how, again, my mouth opens wider as I progress through the pronunciation of these 4 sounds. Next, number 2, nut, note, not, and not. And then we have mud, mode, mod, and mod. And then we have fund, phoned, fond, and fond. And then we have in number 5, chuck, choke, chalk, and chalk. Notice how it's not chack, right? It's not an ash, it's chalk, the last one. And then we have sentences and phrases. We have one for the wedge, which is the dog bucks. We don't have anything for O. We have something, the dog barks, and the dog barks, and so on. And then we have number 7, here's a nut, here's a note. We don't have anything for the O sound. And we have the last one for the open back rounded ah. Here's a knot. Notice how my jaw drops in knot. And then 8, it's in the hall, it's in the hole, it's in the hall. We don't have anything for the last sound. Number 9, don't suck it, don't soak it. We don't have anything for the O sound. And we have don't sock it. Finally, in number 10, we don't have anything for the English wedge. We do have something for the diphthong, and it goes, was it sewed? And then for the O sound, we have, was it sawed? And was it sawed for the ah sound. I hope you're able to repeat these sounds and feel how your mouth actually opens wider as you progress through the vowel sounds. And I want for you to wrap it up with the exercise on page 57. That's exercise B. And in exercise B, what you need to do is just as you did in the previous exercise, here you will simply read the sentences, paying close attention to the sounds in brackets. So for example, in number 1, you have dawn was done at dawn. Be careful to pronounce them after me. Number 2, mowed the lawn in the mud. And then we have bought a boat. And then in number 4, we have she caught her coat in the cot. So one more time, she caught her coat in the cot. See my mouth, how it changes as I pronounce the different vowel sounds. And then number 5, we have the collar. Number 5 goes, the collar's collar is a nice collar. So one more time, the collar's collar is a nice collar. And that's the end of today's video. I hope you're able to see it and do the exercises accordingly. And now I'm going to end it here and upload it on YouTube so you can watch it later on at home. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of the week.